Y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind Hey HR, and I am so excited to tell you guys all the difference between an HR manager and an HR director. So you would think in human resources, does it really matter if you're a human resources manager or human resources director? I guess it really depends on quite a few factors. And so if you want to know the difference between a human resources manager and a human resources director, then definitely keep watching. A human resources manager primarily works for smaller organizations because their biggest focus on their job is to manage the human resources team. So if you want to know, like, Tamika, what does that mean? Then you can get all of those intricate details by looking at the video where I went into a deep dive all about human resources managers. And I will definitely put that in the description box below so that you can look at all of those differences. But the biggest focus for this video is that they're managing the human resources team. So your human resources director is a tad bit different. What they're doing is they're working for any size organization. You can see a human resources director in any size organization, not pigeonholed to more of the smaller teams. And when I say that the human resources manager manages smaller teams, that number is in reference to, anywhere from 50 to 500 employees. And so that's primarily the focus they're on, or zero. I mean, honestly, why would you really need a human resources manager if you have 0 employees? You probably just want to get a consultant. But a human resources manager manages up to typically on average, up to 500 employees. A human resources director works for any size organization. They can manage as many employees as the company has. I think the highest that I've personally been in contact with is a human resources director working on a human resources team with up to 5,000 employees. But I think that for a human resources director, they can work with thousands of employees. Typically, they do have a full functioning team. They may have a VP of human resources or a chief human resources officer, but they definitely work with larger organizations. And so they oversee the organization's staff operations, not just the human resources team, but the organization's staff operations. They also oversee the business planning of the human resources department, the budget development of human resources programs, and they definitely ensure policy and compliance for all human resources related matters. If you definitely want to know more details than that, I did a video all about human resources directors as well. I have that in the description box below. Now, the compensation is very, very different between the two. So you want to know, Tamika, how much they getting paid? That's all I really want to know. Well, a human resources manager gets paid a little less than a human resources director. And in my opinion, is a lot less. Now, both of them have very comfortable salaries, but the human resources manager, according to pay scale, their average salary in the U.S. is $49,000 to $96,000 per year. Now, for a human resources director, according to pay scale, their average annual salary is $90,419 per year up to $139,000 per year in U.S. dollars, and this is a U.S. average. But they also typically get bonuses and commissions and managerial bonuses, profit sharing. So they normally get a lot more perks and benefits than only their base salary. Now, I definitely did a deep dive into the minimum requirements for each role. If you want to know, like, what technology skills do I need, what software skills do I need, what transferable skills can I have had, then you definitely want to check out both of those videos because I went into a full deep dive for each role. But I will tell you that both of them have transferable skills that can work for either role. Not all of their transferable skills are exactly the same, but the ones that they do have that are exactly the same are primarily your communication skills, your organizational skills, the interpersonal skills, and your leadership skills. And so those skills are needed for both roles. And if you have those skills, you can easily pivot from one role to another. But if you definitely want to know, like, give me more, then check out those videos. If you are someone who has not reached these roles yet in your human resources career and you're trying to navigate it, maybe you haven't even started your human resources career yet, then you definitely want to check out the Human Resources Career Toolkit at HR.com because it can definitely give you a full view from your entry-level positions all the way to your Chief Human Resources Officer. So definitely check that out. I'll have it linked below for you. Now, the same candidate that's applying for human resources role, a human resources manager role, and a human resources director role can definitely fit either or, as long as they have full cycle human resources experience, professional experience managing a full cycle human resources department, and management and leadership experience. So it's very, very common that they can take on a director role or a manager role if they have that full cycle human resources experience. That's going to include all of those minimum requirements, definitely being immersed in the human resources space. And if they have some leadership skills where they've led a team before, they've led programs, they've led initiatives, they've looked at forecasting, things like that. I hope that this video was super duper helpful for you and cleared up the differences between the two, but it's really a slight difference. It's how big do you want to take your career? If you're a human resources manager, then you're definitely going to need to work on more skills to get to a human resources director position. So it's completely something where you want to navigate, like, where do I want to take my career? Where do I want it to go? How far do I want it to reach? Where do I want my compensation? What skills do I have? What skills may I need to get, that type of thing. So for those of you who are new, I welcome you to HR.com, and I hope that you found this information valuable. For those of you who are returning, I really appreciate you always watching another HR video. For everybody, I cannot wait to see y'all on the next video.